Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantries to make hopefully well-balanced, delicious meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I do for health reasons, and as the sole cook in the house, it is easier for me to make one meal than to try to be a short order cook. But you'll see variations to that, and I will explain as we go. So tonight we had these chicken breasts from the food pantry last week. It was Tuesday of last week. And they were frozen, and so I brought them home and put them in the refrigerator with the intention of using them at some point, and tonight was some point. So I went ahead and cut them up, and there's actually a small pan over there as well. I went ahead and cut them up into like tenderloin type pieces. Obviously, I know they're not like the chicken tenders. That's a whole part of a chicken, but you know what I mean. And I breaded them in a mixture of ground up pork rinds, Parmesan cheese, and some seasoned salt. So super simple. Did egg wash, then that. I baked them at 400 for about 20 minutes because I had some of them that were a little bit fatter that weren't quite done yet. So those look delicious. With that, we had some peas left over from last week that needed used. So to stretch those a little bit further, I had my lovely assistant 6-year-old peel up a couple of carrots, and then I cut them up. I steamed those until they were done, and then I added in the peas and just warmed them up because they were already cooked. We also had a little bit of mac and cheese left. Well, actually, a fair bit of mac and cheese left. Probably not quite a full box full of mac and cheese. And so I put that in the pan with probably 1/4 cup of milk and then set it on low and just let that warm up so it's nice and creamy again and warmed up and ready to go. Obviously, I can't do either one of those because of the carb content and gluten. I will probably do a small amount of that because I really do enjoy peas and carrots. And then I've got a sliced tomato from the garden. They are almost done. I went out and picked what was left of the decent sized green tomatoes because they were not turning on the vine. They would take days and days and days to turn. So I went ahead and brought those in, and they will slowly ripen in the house. This was one of the last ones that had ripened outside. And it's just that one small one, and I know most of my kids are burnt out on tomatoes at this point. So I'm just going to do that one, and they can, if they want a piece of it, they can. If not, I will eat it. So I can eat just chicken and tomatoes, a little bit of the peas and carrots, and then I will also remember to get out the sauerkraut. I keep forgetting to do that. But really trying to get in those probiotic foods because they're so good for your gut. So that is a nice comfort food, quick and easy, getting leftovers used Monday night dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Tuesday night, and I had fully intended on doing tacos or taco salad tonight, and when I said that, the kids were like, oh, man. So apparently they're still burnt out on tacos. Sorry, I know I had one commenter ask, hey, what happened to taco night? Yeah, when we were all having stomach issues, or when most of us were having stomach issues, the taco seasoning just wasn't sitting right on tummies, and so we kind of took a pause from it, but we had done taco night like every Tuesday for a very long time, and so the kids just got burned out on it. So I switched things up, and we are doing Big Mac salads, which the kids were very happy about. So it is essentially everything that you would put on a Big Mac, but in a salad. So you've got the lettuce, and then I did 2 pounds of ground beef. And then on top of that, we have minced up dill pickle, minced up onions, and not everybody will choose that. I know I will, but some of my kids won't. Diced tomatoes, some of the last ones from our garden, and shredded cheese. And then this is a Big Mac sauce, and it tastes exactly like Big Mac sauce from the restaurant. So I will post that recipe in the show notes. It's super easy. It's mayo, ketchup, mustard, some seasonings, minced up dill pickle. I mean, it's really like mostly standard things that you would have in your kitchen, but it makes this salad, yeah, it makes it really, really good. So, and like you can see, I made a big jar of it because I know we'll put a lot of it on there, and then I'm completely fine with having some leftover of that in the refrigerator, because it, even on just a regular salad, is really good. But the other fun thing is that you put the meat on the salad warm, and that just changes the whole salad. It I don't know, makes it different. So, yeah, that is Tuesday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night, and tonight we are having a family favorite. We are having what I call sausage sheet pan meal. I know, fancy name. This is a great one for using up little bits of veggies that you have on hand, because you can pretty much put any kind of vegetable on here and it's fine. So I did the two packages of the little smoky links that we got from Mobile Food Pantry, and with that I did a couple of small sweet potatoes that we grew, half of a bag of frozen Brussels sprouts, a decent sized crown of broccoli, some cauliflower, some carrots, some mini peppers, and some onions. And then I just used, and red potatoes and yellow potatoes. And then, hang on, getting the spikes out. I put that on everything. And I just bake that at like 375, 400 for about an hour. It does take a little while, which is the only kind of downside to that. But depending on what vegetables you're using, if you're using like frozen vegetables that are already par-cooked, everything's going to go a little bit faster. But the carrots and the sweet potatoes especially are going to take a little while. So it is worth the wait, though. It's delicious and it's so easy. With this, you can totally do this by itself. The other nice thing is you can do all low-carb vegetables. You can do all vegetables that your family likes. You can, I have like one kiddo that likes Brussels sprouts, so the rest of them will be for me and him. And the other kids, I just pick them out. So, and then like for mine, I'll go low on the potatoes and not have any issues with it. So, you can totally do this by itself. If you need to stretch it a little bit further, serve it over rice. This was actually we're digging in the trash, y'all. Luckily, I just changed the trash bag. This stuff, and I was not too terribly pleased with the ingredients on the seasoning packet. So I tossed the seasoning packet, and instead I did chicken broth to cook it in. I added in dried minced onion and onion powder and some garlic powder to make it slightly less meh on the ingredients. So we'll just put this in the bottom of the bowl with some of that on top of it. You could also do buttered noodles, like egg noodles. You could do cauli rice if you want to stretch it and make it low carb, that kind of thing. So mine, I just won't do the rice, which is fine. So that is Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Thursday night, and the kids are having breakfast for dinner, which is like everybody's favorite. Sorry, wiping something. I had a little bit of egg on my finger. So tonight we did the donuts that we got from the food pantry this week. And when I feed those to my kids, somehow mysteriously the entire bag goes away. Who knew? They have sausage patties that were a pound of ground sausage that we got from the food pantry as well. So I just made those up. Some scrambled eggs. Those are our eggs. And then a fruit salad that is a little bit of everything. There's a plum, a pear, 2 of our apples, some frozen berries, a can of oranges, a banana, and a peach. So it's really fruit salad. That's a great way of using up if you have little bits of fruit left that, like, say you want to do breakfast for dinner, instead of having everybody pick one and then 2 people fight over the last banana kind of thing, just make it into a fruit salad, whatever fruit you have on hand. And then I like to do, most of that was room temperature, but then I like to add in those frozen berries, because then it thaws the frozen berries but then cools everything else. So it makes for a really nice, quick and easy fruit salad, and there's plenty there, so the kids will have seconds. There's eggs left, there's one sausage patty left, and then there's fruit salad left. So if anybody is still hungry, then they can, which it was kind of funny. My oldest two went down to the neighbors today. So our neighbor that we're friends with lives about a half a mile away down the road. And they went down today to help split firewood. So the two oldest came back, and my 11-year-old son came out. I was sitting on the front porch, and he's like, "Are you going to make dinner soon? Because I'm really hungry." I was like, "Yeah, you worked up an appetite." And then while they were gone, it was a beautiful day today. It was in the 70s and like super windy. But me and the little three took a really long bike ride, and it was the first time my 6-year-old just learned how to ride a bike 2 wheels. And so it was the first bike ride that he had taken that was a long bike ride on 2 wheels. And then my middle guy was riding his big sister's bike because his bike needs replaced. But so he was riding essentially an adult-sized bike and does great on it, no big deal. But his legs were tired by the time he was done. So it was just funny. I think all of them worked up an appetite and are going to eat like heathens tonight. So I put in a couple extra eggs into the pan. So, all right. For me, I don't know what I'm going to have. I don't want breakfast for dinner. I have actually fasted for the last week. I have only eaten breakfast once. The rest of the week, I have fasted until at least 11, more toward 1. And that, I really feel like that's saying something about how my body is doing, because my body is definitely healing, definitely enjoying this really clean diet that I have been on. Because if I had attempted to fast before, I would get to 11 and be lightheaded and weak and really yucky feeling. So I feel like that's my body saying that, hey, you're healing and you're actually doing okay. So I'm happy about that. But even though I have not been eating breakfast, I still don't want breakfast. So I'm not sure what I'm having. I will probably pull out leftovers of something and have that. Or I know there's a couple of brats in the refrigerator that need eaten, so I may throw those in the air fryer and just do those, and maybe some green beans or something like that. Something really simple. So, all right, that is Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. This is the one that doesn't get old for whatever reason. So sometimes that's homemade, sometimes it's store-bought frozen pizzas. It is pretty much never takeout because we live too far out in the country for takeout to be delivered. And I can make a whole lot of frozen pizzas for cheaper and faster anyway. So yeah, it just doesn't happen. So tonight we had the last loaf of that take and bake French loaf from the food pantry that has been living in my freezer for a while. And so I cut it in thirds. Yeah. I've done it before where I cut it in half and it was just too much bread to topping ratio. So if I do it in thirds, it's perfect. It makes slightly thinner crust on most of them. So yeah. So 2 of those are pepperoni. The other one is just cheese. And the sauce is dark because not last year, but yeah, last year, I did some tomato sauce where I roasted the tomatoes and the peppers to try to make a different kind of sauce. I have not found a single home canned tomato sauce that I like as much as store-bought. I don't know why. I just can't make it. It always turns out acidic and just not very good flavor. So this one turned out better than the previous, but still not good. But that's where using it as pizza sauce works, because you're not using it as much as like if you were using it in spaghetti and that's all you taste. So anyway, that's the pizzas. With that, the kids are going to have simple salads, just lettuce with raisins and honey mustard dressing, and I will post that recipe in the show notes because it's really good and really simple. It's just 3 simple ingredients that you probably have in your house right now. And then the fruit salad left over from last night. So a nice easy meal, which was nice because I just got done making a triple batch of blueberry muffins, a quadruple batch of chocolate chip zucchini muffins, and a double batch of pumpkin muffins. When I make muffins, I'm like, I'm going to have everything out. I'm going to have the mess going. I'm going to have the oven on. So I just go ahead and make a bunch, and then I freeze them on cookie sheets and until they're nice and solid. They're not like frozen all the way, but like they're not going to stick together. And then I put them in Ziploc bags, and then the kids can pull out a muffin and warm it up in the microwave and have part of their breakfast already done. So I do that. Whenever I do it, I just go ahead and do the whole shebang. So I definitely needed an easy dinner for tonight. For me, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of getting to be the thing. I fasted again for breakfast this morning. For lunch, I had lunch, but then I also ate a big snack this afternoon because of doing all of the baking. I got hungry. So I kind of had a big snack this afternoon. And so now I'm not hungry. I will eat. I may just wait another hour before I do it and figure something out. Yeah, I don't know. I've got chicken thighs in the freezer. I could cook some of those in the air fryer. Hi, kitty cat. I could do, that window is open, and if that window is open, there's a cat in it because they smell food. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out. That's usually how it works. So tonight is also the one night a week that we do dessert. I know we still have chocolate chip cookies. We have those digestives. There's candy. There's still some birthday cake from a couple months ago in the freezer. Yeah, I usually just pull everything dessert-wise out. Sometimes I'll make something special dessert, but most of the time I just pull out anything that we have gotten, like from the food pantry, that kind of thing, out and let the kids choose whatever they want. So, yeah. All right, that is Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, kitty. It is Saturday night, and Saturday night I always make a big meal, traditionally what I grew up having after church on Sundays. And that is so that we have leftovers, and I'll explain that in a minute. So tonight we have, this is the container of chicken, or the bag of chicken leg quarters that we got from the food pantry. I bake these according to Nourishing Traditions recipe book. I highly, highly recommend that book. It's massive, like thick, but it breaks down nutritionally what we need to be eating and how we need to prepare food properly so that our bodies can use it the best. It recommends cooking whole chickens and like chicken pieces like this for a long time. So I baked these at 375 for right at 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. I always put it in, if I'm going to do this, I put it in at like 4:30 in the afternoon with the intention of eating at 6:30. It's 6:45, so close enough. But it makes for the most crispy skin, fall apart, delicious chicken you will ever eat. And I do whole chickens and then chicken pieces like this as well. It does not make dry chicken. It makes the polar opposite. It is like seriously the best chicken. So worth the 2-hour cook time. With that, I did some of the yellow potatoes in our air fryer. I did those with some of the garlic and herb oil that I got from the food pantry and salt. So super simple, but they get nice and crispy and the kids really like those. I took out the 4 crowns of broccoli that I got, I think last week, y'all. These days are running together. From the food pantry that were fresh broccoli. I went ahead and blanched those and then froze them in bags. And so this is 2 big crowns of broccoli. So I just pulled that out, put it frozen in this pan, and it's been roasting for about a half an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that. I would have ideally liked to roast this for a lot longer because they're cooked, but I would like them a little bit more roasted, but it's dinner time and we're hungry. I did oil on those, that same garlic and herb oil, that one, which smells amazing. And then salt and some Parmesan cheese. No, I didn't put salt on them because I knew I was going to put Parmesan cheese on them. So very simple, but I bet those will be delicious. We have some tomato from our garden. I picked all the green tomatoes that were decent sized, and they will ripen slowly over the next few weeks. And so that was like 3 little ones that were ripe. So I went ahead and did those. And then some brown and serve rolls that have been in my freezer for I don't know how long. Um, which is why they got used, because they were in the door of my freezer and I kept staring at them and not doing anything with them. So I just put those. It happened to be that the instructions for them were 375. So it worked out perfect that's what I had the chicken cooking at. So that is tonight's dinner. If you are new here, this is the end of our week of meals. I don't cook on Sundays. I don't clean. I spent all day today. I cleaned the house top to bottom, decently. I will admit it's been like 3 weeks since the mop got used, but today the whole house got a good thorough cleaning. Just a general pickup, vacuum, mop, wash all the dishes, fold all the clothes, all that kind of stuff. So that Sunday I can take the day off. So I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do dishes, I don't do laundry, any of it. It all gets put to the side and we spend the day resting and enjoying our Sabbath day. So tomorrow when we get home from lunch, I pull out all of the leftovers from the week. I lay it all out on the counter and the kids get to pick and choose whatever they want. If they want chicken and a hot dog and a waffle, fine. If they want broccoli and potatoes and I don't know, a chicken leg, fine, whatever. It is all about getting the leftovers used. And then Sunday for dinner, I pull out charcuterie board things. So think all the things that you would put on a charcuterie board: cheese, cured meats, dried fruits, crackers, goat cheese, graham crackers, peanut butter, pickles, anything like that. Anything that I have in the refrigerator in the pantry that fit into that, I pull it all out and I lay it out on the counter. And for that meal, I even bust out paper plates, and the kids get to pick and choose, once again, whatever they want. And it gets them fed. I usually end up eating leftovers again, which is totally fine with me. So, all right. That is our week of meals. I will post any relevant recipes in the show notes. If you have any questions about anything that I have made, please feel free to ask, and I will type up instructions on how I do it. I am very much a country cook, just on cooking the way that my mom taught me to intuitively, I guess would be a good way of saying it. That I just know how to generally cook things. If I don't know how to cook something, I Google it. I don't use a whole lot of recipes. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out in my kitchen with me. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.